Hello, Internet, and welcome to the Unqualified Sports Podcast. We are underqualified and overconfident here. I'm your unqualified host, Travis Mydlo, and today I'm joined by my co-hosts here, Troy Freyser.
What's up, guys?
And Chad Sawyer. This is the inaugural episode for the Unqualified Sports Podcast. Again, we are underqualified and overconfident here. We're going to be coming to you guys with tons of sports takes, some of our bets for the upcoming football season, basketball, baseball. Pretty much, if it's a sport, we will be betting on it. Chad most definitely is betting on it.
And betting on it right now as we speak.
He's sweating a little bit.
He's currently
sweating a little bit.
Watching a game while we're recording our first ever episode. We wouldn't have it any other way. We're actually recording this during the first episode, or for the first game of the NFL season, which is exciting. We have Rams Bills, so we're not going to give you guys any takes on that one since it's ongoing. But we do have lots of takes that we can give you and lots of bets we're going to be making week one of the NFL season. So we're going to start with a segment that I think a lot of you have done in your offices, with your buddies, in your group chats. And we like to call it, Where Did He Go? So how this works is we're going to be asking each other two different players. It could be any major sport. Where did this player go to school? So we'll actually start with Troy asking Chad. Troy, you got a couple players lined up that you can ask Chad?
I do.
Okay,
I got a couple guys. I don't know how good Chad is at this, but my first guy here, Chris Johnson, 2K.
East Carolina.
There we go.
Dang.
East Carolina, pretty quick.
He's good at this.
I won't get one wrong. So just let's get it over with.
Okay, and this one, I mean, it will get more difficult. I'm taking a little bit easier on you.
Yeah, it's week one.
Our inaugural episode.
Inaugural.
Sure. This.
No, Troy's definitely saying it better than you.
You should get this one.
Okay.
Switching sports a little bit. Marcus Camby.
UMass, local guy.
There we go.
Final four.
Chad's our Boston guy. Number one overall pick. Those are easier ones. Yeah, I know you're a seasoned vet in that department, so
yeah, Chad, take it easy on me because again,
there will be a common theme amongst the players that I ask about. I want this show to be about me as much as possible. So,
got it. Perfect. All right. Well, then fire a couple away at me, and I'll tell you if I know where they went to college.
And they should be pretty easy. We'll start off with Chad Kelly, Swag Kelly.
Okay.
Both colleges.
I got to get both.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I know Ole Miss is one of them.
Uh-huh. But where was he before that?
I believe that's where he transferred from.
Mr. Irrelevant, right?
Yeah, he was the last pick. Okay. Ooh, where was he before that? Why do I want to say that he went to Miami? Is that right?
Nope.
Did he go to the U?
He technically went to three schools, but I'm trying to get you to last chance.
That was the other school he went. Didn't he go to FAU or FAU?
No, I don't know what you're saying anymore. He started at Clemson, but he went to East Mississippi. Last chance U.
Eastern Mississippi.
Oh, I'm thinking of the coach who actually went to.
He made Buddy Stevens
FAU.
famous. That's why the show started.
That's right. That was the first season?
He wasn't on the show.
Dang.
They made the show because Chad Kelly came in and broke all those records.
Okay. Chad Kelly. Okay. I did not know that.
There you go.
I now that you said it, I feel like I knew it. But that's how it always works.
And then my second player, staying on theme, Chad Henne.
Chad Henne. He went to Michigan, didn't he?
There you go.
All right, you like the Chad.
Chad Henne.
Nice. Okay. Now my turn for Troy here. Okay, Troy. We're gonna go with Brandon Marshall, the receiver.
Right here in Orlando, UCF.
Nice.
One of our more popular guys. Sending more guys to the league recently. So
yeah, and that was a not so recent one, but
that was one of the first. They were the OGs.
I think they have his number retired. I don't really know why,
sure.
but okay, let me come up with another one for you. Sean Lee.
Ooh, Sean Lee. Let me think. Chad, you know this one?
I think I know it, but this is.
I keep wanting to think.
If he gets it wrong, I'll let you.
Can I ask Power 5?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Oh man. Sean Lee.
He come on, Troy. He's sticking with the UCF connections.
Is he?
No.
I think
I'll give you a hint. No.
No, it's
Is it not? It's not.
I want to say it's
Nebraska?
either.
Nope.
I want to say it's Pack
Cut that.
or.
I don't ever want to be wrong on this show.
We're leaving it in. First episode.
You should have texted us, bud. No, I want to say Pack or Big 12.
Neither.
Okay.
Well,
I obviously don't know.
Penn State.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Now you guys are making me doubt it, but I'm almost.
That
I'm
was
99%.
probably late 2000s.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like it was Penn State. Unless you were a Cowboy fan, not really. Obviously.
I kept wanting to say Boise because of your boy now, Van Der Esch.
Yeah.
But
who?
Different white guy.
Another underwhelming white guy playing linebacker for the Cowboys. All right, so now we're moving on from that icebreaker game, which is super exciting. We'll have 6 other guys ready for you next week for Where Did He Go?
We'll make it a little tougher.
Yeah, well, they'll progressively
for Chad,
get
at
harder.
least.
So moving on to the next segment, which is what I like to call Trending with Trav. And what is trending right now, not only in the sports world, but in the world. And you guys, the Queen's dead.
Does this
tough
might
pill to
be
swallow?
a stupid question?
Go ahead. Probably is.
Does England even? I mean, I get they have a queen, but they have. I mean, there's been like how many Queen Elizabeth?
History lesson.
How many are alive right now?
I don't understand the question, Travis.
Meaning
are you asking?
100 years old, right? So she's had
96 or so.
She's had a couple kids, I assume, and then they've probably had kids. So they're all named Elizabeth. I just don't understand. I just don't understand why this is we're even discussing this.
Not that I care at all, but it is something that's trending and something that seems to be going on at the water cooler right now. So I figured I'd bring it up.
Research?
Didn't do any research,
okay.
Nor do I know anything about
Some
how the royal family works. But yeah, it's trending. She's dead. She died. I guess my one take on this is when somebody is 90 plus years old and people feel bad that person died, I just don't understand that. That's plenty of life. That's a lot of life.
Yeah, the word my wife had the news on a little bit earlier. The word mourn. What are we mourning?
Yeah.
That just like it's time.
Some random old lady in Europe died.
Now her son's upset because he has a few years before he croaks.
Yeah.
So
what's that guy's name?
It's
Harry?
That's the one.
There's a Harry and a George.
It's, not William, not Harry. It is Charles.
So that's Unqualified
King
Sports
Charles.
talking the royal family. Moving on to the next subject here, what we feel like we might know a little bit more than the royal family, it is football spreads. So, Troy, I'm going to have you pull up a couple of those games if we can get the laptop working. And we're going to go through week 1 of the NFL season and tell you guys where we're leaning on some of this and see where you guys can put some of your bankrolls. So we're going to skip over Bills and Rams, obviously, since it's ongoing, or at this point, this will have already happened. So let's just run down the list. Go ahead, Troy.
All right, boys. So we got our 1 o'clocks. We got the Saints. Looks like it's at the Falcons at 3.5. The Saints are a favorite. What do you guys think?
I mean, my gut reaction is the Falcons might win 3 games this year. I'm way down on them this year. I think everybody really is. 3.5. I mean, the NFL is tough. You know, they spread. They know exactly what they're doing. But I would take the Saints. I'm really high on them this year. I like all the weapons that are there, and Jameis is going to be fun again. So where are you leaning, Chad?
I'm going to be honest, not any spoilers, but I probably won't pick one favorite this week, especially on the road. So I'm actually going to be I am high, not high.
I have a lot of dogs.
Although I might be a little high, but I like the Falcons this year. I think Marcus Mariota, he's been a playoff quarterback before. No matter what you think about him, he has been in the playoffs multiple times. Kyle Pitts, potential breakout year. Defensive guys, they got a few players on that team. I think they could hang around and put up some more points than people think. So 3.5. Obviously, I think the world is going to be leaning on New Orleans. But all it takes is for Jameis to throw 1 or 2 timely interceptions. Defense makes a couple plays, and maybe we get something on the back door. Who knows? There's a lot. I'm going to be sticking with the Falcons, just because I'm not taking any favorites.
What about you, Troy?
Yeah, I mean, I like the Saints. I think they might be a sleeper playoff team. We know Jameis slings it. You know, he'll have a couple picks. Yeah, I got the Saints.
Yeah. Feels like it's a safe pick there, especially more so, not necessarily just being home. I just think Atlanta's going to be terrible this year.
And I like a lot of favorites too, but you got to mix it up a little bit. Yeah, Atlanta just not enough weapons.
All right, next game.
So we got the Niners at the Bears. The Niners are 6.5-point favorites. I'll start off. I like the Bears in this. I like the dog.
You're taking the points?
Yep. Yeah, 6.5. Man, I just think the way the Niners play, just a little bit slower. They keep it on the ground. I think it'll just be a slower game, not a whole lot of points. So I think the Bears keep it close.
Chad, where are you at on this one?
So obviously, I will not. I can't take the points with the Bears this week. But I'm also not going to be betting the 49ers. So I'm actually going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to use the Niners as part of a teaser that I'm going to cook up. Probably just a 2-teamer. There's another team that's in a similar spot, similar place on the road that I think to win, but I just touchdowns a lot in the NFL. So I'm gonna use the 49ers as a leg to a nice little teaser play here. So that'll bring the spread down to basically a pick-up -1. So I'll be using the Niners that way. But I am excited to see how Trey Lance plays. I don't know. Going back in Kyle Shanahan's entire life, I don't know any quarterbacks that have played bad under him. Of course, based on how good they're supposed to be, right? Obviously, some backup quarterbacks.
They do enough.
Right? But I'm excited to see what Trey Lance can do. He didn't really impress me in the preseason, so I'd be surprised if the lights just turn on and he's a world beater. But we'll see. It'll be fun.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like a hot take, but I think Kyle Shanahan's the best coach in the league. I
agree.
I don't think it's super close either. I think he's done some stuff with guys that just it doesn't make a lot of sense. Going to the Super Bowl with Jimmy G, being a contender consistently with him, just with an insane offense. So I think they go in. I've never been a Fields guy. I mean, he's sort of fun. I think they'll win by a touchdown. So I'm going to go 2 favorites in a row. I think they'll win by 7.
Okay. All right. So the next one we have the Bengals at home against the Steelers. Bengals are 6-point favorites. What do you guys have?
I'll go first because I don't know if either of you have this, but I'm going Steelers money line on this one. I like Mitch. I don't know. A lot of people don't like it. I think that was the play.
Trubisky.
I think that was the play.
He's solid.
They let Kenny sit down for a little bit. I know it's the homegrown Pittsburgh kid, but
Small hands.
Mitch is legit. Small hands.
Really
you know something
small
about
hands.
that, Chad.
I do know something about that.
You can relate.
So I'm going Pittsburgh money line on this one, and I think the Bengals have a down year.
Okay. I mean, it compared to last year.
No, I think they have less wins.
They
than
don't
last
make the
year.
playoffs.
They were a wild card team last year. I think they missed the playoffs. I think
Okay.
that the Steelers make the playoffs out of that division. I think they miss, and I think the Ravens win that division.
So Ben was the issue, essentially. I mean, we know he was terrible. But
yeah, their defense is awesome.
They upgrade to an average quarterback. They make the playoffs.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's where I'm at with them.
Fair.
So give me that money line.
What do you got, Chad?
So I'm betting the Steelers this weekend. I'll take Tomlin in the points, especially week one. A little bit of a Super Bowl hangover, but I think I can't just let Travis say a lot of the things that he just said and get them unchecked. That's crazy. Bengals, I think they'll be good this year, as good, just as good as they were last year. But calling the Steelers a playoff team and saying that they have an awesome defense, they have one guy who feeds on the weaker side of the offensive line, right? So the reason that no one double teams him or the reason that they have him go against the right tackle is he's really not that talented of a guy. Hard worker. I'm talking about TJ Watt. The secondary has a safety who does make a couple plays, but you couldn't even name.
We're just going to keep going. We didn't hear that.
No. You can come back. Travis is saying that
we'll circle back to
great. Could you name their DBs, their starting DBs? Could you tell me who they are with confidence?
How about Minkah Fitzpatrick?
Corners.
Minkah got a paycheck.
You said safe. You said secondary.
All right, rephrase. Tell me who.
Joe Hayden's still there?
Joe Hayden's gone.
Joe Hayden is not there.
That was my first thought. He's gone.
Joe Hayden's also at 35.
I don't necessarily. I'm not a guy who thinks that you have to have elite corners to be a great defense. And I say that because I don't know any of the corners there.
Right. Okay.
But I know that they have a nasty front, and I think that the TJ Watt take that you have is completely wrong.
They have an okay front, but
who are their corners?
I know.
Hayward is one of them. Hayward.
No,
I know they have the D lineman. The D lineman's Hayward.
Hayward is up front. The guy who plays the most snaps is Cam Sutton, who he played on the field a lot last year.
Oh, you know who's there? Ike Taylor.
Yeah, okay. Here we go.
Ike.
So, look, and they're going up against Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. So, like I said, I'm taking the Steelers this weekend. But
Sutton.
To come out and tell me that come out and tell me that they have an elite defense when you can't even – if you want to pretend that, and being a Cowboys fan, I get why you say that having the most overrated defensive player of all time leading the secondary, but you can't be an elite defense and not even be able to name the starting cornerbacks. So
yeah, okay. You don't think that having Devin Bush, Miles Jack, Cameron Hayward,
I think I could
having Fitzpatrick, and then round it out with the guy who just broke the sack record. That's not a top 5 defense this year.
Absolutely not. No,
you're crazy.
I'm sort of on the same wave.
Middle linebackers and a good free safety.
I'm kind of on the same wave. I would say top 10. I don't think that gets it done. I think that Cincy arguably has the best trio receivers. I mean, they have studs. They have Joe Mixon. Obviously, Joe Shiesty will get him the ball. I got the Bengals covering. I think they cover the touchdown. A lot of people are high on the Steelers. A lot of people are down on the Bengals because they made it to the Super Bowl. They think they're done. I'm not going to say they get back to the Super Bowl, but I think they're top of the AFC. I think they get it done this.
You're taking them minus
weekend.
6?
I am.
Okay.
Yep, I'm taking them at 6.
I feel like there's a couple games we could probably, for the sake of time, we could probably gloss over.
That's fine.
Who cares about Philly and the Lions?
I do think
you're going to skip over America's sweethearts.
I think I have the Lions due to them being America's team. Dan, who doesn't love that guy? So I got the Lions covering that one.
I actually don't like Dan Campbell. I think that dude is
too emotional for you. Too emotional for you.
No, I'd
That's the issue.
rather you coach the Lions. He's a dumbass. He doesn't know one thing about. He was a backup tight end so basically a fullback. Doesn't know one thing about.
I've seen his 2-minute highlight reel. Have you seen that?
He's not a motivational guy. He's not a well-spoken person. He just walks around jacked up on juice and then starts crying when he has to cut.
That gets
it makes
done.
No sense.
That's where we differ. The guy motivates me when I work my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So
he listens to Dan Campbell hype up speeches when he turns the car on in the morning and says, "All right,
it gets me going, man."
I'm gonna grab my lunch pail and
but they don't beat Philly. They cover, and I think that's what he's looking to do. He's looking to cover some lines. So
they will. They love keeping the game tight. They don't like winning.
So we got the Pats, we got the Dolphins in Miami, 2.5 favorite. The Dolphins. What do you guys think there?
I think that this is a 1:00 game. Both these teams are boring to me. I guess two. So I'm excited to see how Tyreek Hill plays in that offense. I think he's still an electric factory, but Patriots stink. I think Patriots are the last place team in that division. I don't know. I don't really have a side in this one. I think the Dolphins win by 3, so I'll take 2.5.
Yeah, I don't think. I think that all the Dolphins hype, the team to slow it down and to play boring football is Chad's Patriots. I think they cover. I think Dolphins might win on a field goal, a point or two. But I got the Pats to cover just because Belichick knows how to slow the game down. He knows how to, slow down some big plays, and they don't win a whole lot of games this year. But this one they do cover.
All right,
Chad.
Look, as the Pats guy on the show, I know this game inside and out. I hate Bill Belichick. I hate Mac Jones. I hate every skill position player on the New England Patriots. I think the defense sucks. I hate everything about this team this year. Miami Dolphins are the hot new girl in school. Mike McDaniel, Tua, Tyreek, Jalen Waddle breakout. One of the top defenses from last year coming back at home. This is a 2.5 point spread. The Patriots are going to win this game by a touchdown. And I hate the New England Patriots. I think
all that to say
they're going to be last. They're going to finish last.
Did we get a
place.
why? Did we?
But my favorite bet of this weekend is the New England Patriots to win the game. I don't even need the points. He can keep the 2.5 points, which actually gets up to 3.5 now.
Okay. Gotcha.
And he says that from his high rise in downtown Boston, everyone. You hate the Patriots.
I'll look out to the field. I'll be watching it from there. I might even fly down to freaking Miami and go watch the game. No one's.
You should. Little Miami weekend.
Should we?
This is the
You deserve
worst.
it.
We'll drive down and meet you.
You deserve it.
This is the worst team that New England has put on the field since
Agreed.
Bob Kraft has bought this team.
30 years.
And we're going to win this weekend. So.
But you agree with me that they're the worst team in the division?
I think they might be the worst team in the NFL.
Wow. Yeah, I'm not a Mac guy either. All right. This is a weird spread. I'm not going to open with this. I don't know how I feel with the Jets, especially since Flacco's starting this weekend. They just announced it today.
Possibly 4 weeks of Joe Flacco.
They're getting 4.5 points against the Ravens.
It's a little suspect.
I think that line's at 7 right now.
Is it?
Oh, really?
We're on Vegas Insider.
Look at the live movements.
You would think it would be a touchdown.
Oh yeah, it moved to 7 as of today. I'm sorry, we're looking at an old one.
It's okay. That's why.
Okay. Now I feel differently.
Okay, so it's 7 even in Baltimore's favor. I will still take Baltimore. I mean,
Flacco revenge game though.
Yeah, revenge. It's been 15 years. He would have got his revenge by now. I mean, it's just the Ravens. They finally got some guys healthy. Maybe we'll see MVP Lamar. The Jets have nothing to offer. So
they have young receivers and running backs that I offensively I kind of like, and then
I like the receivers. The running backs, they're okay.
I'm also in the boat of I think Saleh is sort of a Dan Campbell guy that doesn't really do it for me. Just is like a let's yell and I'm going to be animated on the sideline. And players love me, but I'm not an X's and O's guru. I'm not going to draw up a defense that's going to shut you down. Also, they tuned up the Cowboys last time we played them, so I hate the Jets. And I hate the Jets because my good friend likes the Jets. So
fair.
So I'm going Ravens.
So
I think I've picked all favorites except for the money line on the Steelers so far.
I actually, not without Zach Wilson, but I like the Jets this year. I think they got some good young players that they drafted this year. Hall, Wilson out of Ohio State, so Hall obviously running back. And then Elijah Moore, when he was healthy on the field last year, he was actually one of the best receivers in the league.
Is he Ole Miss?
Yeah,
Ole Miss
guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
A little bit smaller. They have Braxton Berrios. So they have some
Berrios.
They have who I think was a Pro Bowler last year as a punt returner. But anyways, with that being said, I do think that this is going to be a big year for the Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson obviously doesn't have his contract in place. He's got the deadline for tomorrow to negotiate it. You're having to have that done. I think he's going to be the MVP this year. So going back to my 49ers pick, I'm going to do the same thing that I did earlier. This is going to be the second leg, so I'll get this one at right around a pick of -1. We'll get the odds at -110. So I'll do that 2-team teaser with the Niners and the Ravens.
I like that. I feel like this would be a slower game
but I
as
will
well.
say that is way too good to be true. So as Josh Allen just put a knife in my heart. So we're going to hopefully someone on this card is going to need to win. So.
Yeah, these games that seem a little bit too close, a little bit too easy. I like that. Tease them up and get a little parlay leg going, 2-legger.
NFL teasers are fun.
Yeah. What do you have?
On the
you go ahead. You have the live ones. The Jags Commanders, a little bit boring game.
2.5.
Yeah, is it 2.5 now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm looking.
Give me the Jags.
Maybe 3.
I guess
depending
Jags.
on what book you're on. No free ads.
I'll take the points I'll take 2.5, I guess, from the Jags.
Yep.
I think if the Commanders win, they'll squeak one out, last second field goal by 1. But I hate everybody in the NFC East except the Cowboys. So
Fair. Yeah, I just think the Jags are they're ready for a fresh start. Kicked Urban out of town. They are. This is going to be sort of their Super Bowl, man. They're not going to win a whole lot of games. They're obviously young. Trevor Lawrence will, he'll be a little bit better. Obviously, a whole lot of talent, but they'll make games competitive. And I think this Washington team, they have a couple weapons. Obviously, Brian Robinson is, what happened with him. He won't be playing. But yeah, Wentz is.
Didn't he get shot?
He got shot. He had a rough offseason.
Don't play with guns.
It's a good way to start, I guess. Not getting shot. Did he shoot himself?
No, he got armed robbery.
He was being robbed.
Where was that in Washington, or did he go back home?
That was that was. I think that was right out. Like that was right out
DC.
Yeah.
Wow.
He actually lucky.
This is why.
He got shot, I think, 3 times, and however it went through his leg, it didn't hit any major whatever it would hit. It basically went through and through. He was out walking around the next day. They thought he might be able to play week 1.
That's pretty badass.
I think it's just funny when not that it's funny getting shot. Nothing funny about that. It's funny when people get hurt off field injuries like that, and the fantasy wire will just say non-football related injury, and it's not like a broken leg.
I was in the middle of a
something.
draft. I was in the middle of one of my fantasy drafts. Someone drafts Brian Robinson, and then I just pull up my phone. 2 minutes later, he got shot, and I just thought it was someone around and saying whatever, and it turns out he actually got shot. So
fantasy owners need to take it easy on him. This one's excused.
I have two.
This one's excused.
I have 2 shares of Antonio Gibson. So if I was playing in a higher stakes league, don't ask me where I was that day.
Who got the start? He got the start, right? He'll get most of the touches.
I would.
It was. I think it was Gibson's.
I think.
Yeah.
Not to make light of the situation. I think Antonio Gibson's going to get a shot.
Yikes.
Moving on to the Browns and Panthers. I want to start this one because this is my biggest bet of the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Would put the house on Baker Mayfield revenge game. Money line.
Baker screams revenge.
He loves revenge.
Like, this is his Super Bowl. He beats the Browns and they win 5 more games, and he's comfortable with it.
That's fine. DJ Moore
I agree.
showed him
I agree.
Sunday.
You guys are
so three
you
and a
guys
half?
you guys are 1.5. You got maybe 2, depending on again what book.
Oh yeah,
no free ads.
They'll cover.
You guys are so. Have you seen some of the statistics on this game in terms of the percentage of the bets and the tickets that are being? This is the Panthers are the number 1 bet side of the weekend. Why? Because Baker Mayfield, who's my guy, I got a Baker jersey.
It's emotional. Yeah.
So you think Baker Mayfield playing with emotion is just going to magically become a good starting quarterback? Panthers are going to find a defense? No, probably not. Matt Rule is going to become a competent head coach? Also probably not. All these things need to happen, and the only reason that this line is 1.5 is because the Browns signed a rapist who can't play. They got to go to Jacoby Brissett, who, okay, that's fine. He's probably an upgrade over Baker Mayfield. The Browns have more talent all over the field, and you're telling me that the Panthers are the number 1 bet side? This is like the Patriots. I smell a little something cooking. Give me the Browns.
Yeah.
Big.
I mean, I get it. Vegas knows what they're doing. You can't always fade the public.
I'm not fading. You're choosing freaking Baker. You're taking your hard-earned money and saying, "Oh yeah, I want to do that because Baker Mayfield is butthurt." That's so stupid.
Yeah, I love a good story.
It's not even a good story.
I'm a story guy.
Something to root for.
There's 100 fucking games on. They're not even going to talk about it. They don't give. So what is it,
I think
a 1 o'clock game? No. You think SVP is going to come on Sunday night and say, "Oh my God, Baker Mayfield threw 2 touchdowns and 170 yards and 1 interception, and they won 17-14. It's our number 1 show." No one cares.
If he gets a win and maybe talks a little shit afterwards, sure.
No.
If he doesn't, then no.
He runs up to Stefanski and he grabs his junk. I think he's going to do that.
Yeah.
After he throws
Baker
a
Mayfield's going to
dime.
grab Kevin Stefanski's balls? Because that's kinda,
I wouldn't put it past him. That would be on SVP's one
By the
big
way,
thing.
if Baker Mayfield goes and grabs someone's balls, the Browns will probably give him $240 million guaranteed.
Yeah. They're in the business for
That's what
that.
they're looking for.
I'm going to kill myself.
Well, they're on the other side
I'm
of the
literally
coin.
going to kill myself.
What's happening in that
Stay
game?
focused.
Stafford is.
I don't have
Stafford looks like freaking Garrett Cole, just trash. Overthrowing receivers, interceptions.
Yeah, man. He got his ring. He's chilling. It's all about that banner. Yeah, his elbow hurts a little bit. It's all about that banner tonight, man. He's not worried about tonight. Joshy's focused. That's what I had the Bills covering, but that doesn't matter. What do we have next?
We got on to the next one here. We have Colts Texans. I believe the live line is 7.
Texans.
Go ahead. Taking the points?
With a sprinkle on the money line.
Wow. What makes you say that?
Makes you say what?
What you just said.
Well, the fact is, Texans actually had a little something cooking at the end of the year last year. Davis Mills, guy's great. Lovie Smith, not supposed to have a job. Texans didn't want to give him the job. They wanted to hire Josh McCown, but because of Deshaun Watson, they were too afraid that if they you get what I'm saying. So we had to bring in Lovie Smith. Guy's going to be coaching on fire, and team's going to play.
I like Lovie.
They're going to play fired up. They actually have a pretty good offensive line. And then Colts are never a team that's going to blow anybody out.
Except for the Patriots.
Okay. Like I said, I think the Patriots are the worst team in football. So,
well, don't say they're never going to blow people out because I think they had a couple
point
points
remains,
last year.
Yeah.
Brand Cooks, Nico Collins, they can do some damage on the outside. I like them to sneaky put up some points. I'll take the. I bet this a couple of days ago, so I actually have it at. Plus,
You get 7.5.
I got 8 actually. So.
Wow. Is 7.5 live?
Depends on where you got it, but I think it's right now pretty much everywhere 7.
Okay, I'm looking at if it's 7.5. I will take Houston as well. That's the one that seems where Indianapolis should blow them out. I mean, Houston's a bottom feeder. They're. You name 2 guys again. That's about as much as we name for the Steelers, who are maybe a playoff team. But I think the Texans lose by a touchdown.
By the way, the Texans are going to finish with a better record than the Pittsburgh Steelers this year, just so we know.
Really?
Look at the division that the Texans play in. Look at the division the Steelers play in.
I'm so excited that we are now finally recording some of the insane shit you say. So we can go back and just send it to you later in the year when you say that the Texans are going to have a better year than the Steelers.
Okay.
Or maybe I'll eat my words. Because I feel like, and again, I'm basing this off feelings, but for the majority of the time that I've known you, that stuff does not come to fruition. It doesn't feel like those hot takes are not accurate down the road.
Very hot takes.
See, I think
that's a 6 month. We got to wait 6 months to see if you were right on that, but I don't think you will.
Is Houston not? Is it not the Pats in Houston who, like, at the very bottom? Who else is down there?
Steelers.
That's Lions are still pretty bad, I think. The Giants are bad.
The Giants are definitely down there.
Daniel Jones. That was our next game here. That segues nice into that.
Seahawks,
actually. So
Seahawks are terrible.
Seahawks are really bad. That's the Monday night game. Again, Russ gets to go to Seattle and tune them up. That's going to be awesome.
This Giants game, I like Tennessee, but is it 6.5?
It's 5.5 now.
Yeah, I like Tennessee. The Giants, my wife's family is a Giants fan, so I see their games, and Daniel Jones, this is it for him. This is the last go around. They're going to go through some changes here.
Yeah. First of all, I didn't get to say anything about the Colts. I think the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl next year, so I'm going to That's my dark horse Super Bowl team. I think they're going to destroy the Texans. But for this game, moving past that, I agree with you. I think Tennessee wins. I think they win by 7, though. I'm not super high on the Titans this year. I think that the Colts are going to be so good because they're going to win that 1 seed. They're going to destroy this horrible division. But yeah, I'm on the Titans too. Where are you at, Chad?
Giants. Giants. 100%.
Points?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wouldn't be surprised if they win.
You're taking the points, not the money line? Okay. Onto a rivalry game right out of the gates. Packers, Vikings. I think I know where Chad's leaning on this one. Troy, I want to hear your take, though.
Yeah, give me Vikings money line. It seems like a concern, the lack of weapons for Rodgers. It seems like he coasts a little bit until he doesn't have to. I think the Vikings, they're going to get it done. What is it at 1.5 here?
Yep. Yeah, I think it stayed at 1.5.
Yep. Yeah, I like the Vikings. It's at home. And they're solid, but I think that A-Rod's going to have to get accustomed to these new guys that he has in there. And to be honest, I don't think besides the mandatory stuff he had to go through, that he put in the extra work in the offseason to get to know these guys, to get to know their tendencies. So it's going to take a couple games for them to get accustomed.
Yeah, they'll figure it out, but I am later in the season, but I'm also Vikings money line on this one. I like the Vikings this year. Chad?
Kevin O'Connell, head coach of the year, plus 1,600. Kirk Cousins, MVP. Justin Jefferson, offensive rookie of the – I mean, not offensive. Offensive
Cousins.
player of the year. You're about to see the new greatest show on turf. Rams last year, this year, Kevin O'Connell, the true mastermind behind that Rams offense and getting all those players in position. As I've said many times, is if you were to break down who's a better route runner, Justin Jefferson or Cooper Kupp. Justin Jefferson. Who's faster? Justin Jefferson. Who has better hands? Maybe Cooper Kupp, but Justin Jefferson, by far the better athlete. Now we move to the quarterback position, better arm strength. Who sees the field better? Who takes care of the football better? Kirk Cousins over Matt Stafford. Kevin O'Connell is the best offensive play caller in the NFL, right there with Kyle Shanahan. Bet everything. Minnesota Vikings in week 1 is easy, if that wasn't clear.
That's why I had a feeling I knew we were leaning on this game.
What's the odds on that MVP take?
We talked about it last week. What is it, Chad?
I think it's like 40-1. I mean, it's probably being bet down. Everyone who has a pulse on that type of stuff is looking at Kirk Cousins. So,
Kyle Brandt from NFL Network, the Good Morning Football guy, he just did a big reveal. He's betting Cousins as well for MVP this year, so you're not alone there.
Smart.
All right, so these next two games I think are the best matchups of the weekend. We got Chiefs in Arizona, and then we also have the Raiders and Chargers. But we'll start with the Chiefs versus Cardinals. Let's look at the live line on this.
5.5?
I think as of right now, it is 5.5. So we have the Chiefs favored by 5.5.
Wow. It was 2.5.
I think I'll start on this one. I'm taking the points.
Troy's is only looking at all the preseason lines that no one's actually allowed to bet. You're 3-4 points behind every fucking line there is.
Yeah, that's I'm asking every time.
Like, wait, I have it as something way different.
Whatever you had up here, the Vegas Insider. Is what we're looking.
Those are the opening odds. So yeah, we're going.
Just keep me updated.
My money will be on the Cardinals to cover. I think that the Chiefs win, but I think that the Cardinals cover.
Okay. Yeah, I like Cardinals money line. They don't have any significant injuries, do they?
What would you consider?
Well, DeAndre Hopkins isn't allowed to play.
Hopkins out, suspended.
Zach Ertz is out. I don't know if that
is he out.
Yes.
He'll be fine.
Like it's official, they ruled him out.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I like the Cards to win at home. I mean,
which I actually think is better for the Cardinals. They got a young rookie tight end that I love. So,
yeah, a little bit of youth, something fresh. Yeah, I like him to win at home. I don't know, man. Just the new weapons that Patty has. He's got Juju. I think Mecole Hardman's still there. Who's the other guy? I know Valdez-Scantling. I know D-Rob's gone, and a lot of guys that they lost. Again, I think maybe it'll take him some time to get accustomed. He has a safety net in Kelsey, but I think that they'll lose by a field goal to the Cards at home.
Sweet. Chad, where are you at on this one?
I'm also going to go with the Cardinals. I think the Chiefs are. I think they're going to be surprisingly not that great.
Agreed.
It's a
lot of changes.
Tough division. So I think I'm not sitting up here and saying, oh, the Texans are better than the Chiefs. But if you look at having to play the Raiders, the Chargers, and the Broncos twice here, that you could make the case that might be 6 losses. So I'm not big on the Chiefs this year. Hate the Chiefs. Not a Patrick Mahomes guy. Think he got bailed out a lot by Tyreek Hill, to be honest, and some of the plays that he was making. Not to take anything away from, Andy Reid and pretty good offensive guy, I guess, and their fake offensive coordinator, Bieniemy. But Yeah, I'll go with the Cardinals.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm not here for the Mahomes hate. I think he is that guy, but
Yeah.
I think that Andy Reid is obviously a massive part of his career, no doubt. I think you go throw Mahomes on the Texans, and he was exactly what Watson was.
Right.
A guy who didn't win a lot of games, but was electric to watch play. But he got put into a great system, and you can't fault him for that.
Did you just call Patrick Mahomes alleged rapist?
Well, I'm saying he goes to Houston. Maybe things work out a little bit differently.
Okay. You would hope.
He leaves
unless it's just a Houston thing.
I'm not talking about on the field. I'm talking off
the field issues. It might be a Houston thing.
Yeah. They say that, Houston. Well, yeah.
Well, you think about Trevor Lawrence, the hype around him coming into the league, and how Urban Meyer and his staff just kind of
led the league in picks.
Yeah, there's no progression. That it almost
Matt
seems like
Stafford was also tied for the league in picks. They won the Super Bowl, so who cares?
Exactly. It took him some time. But
yeah, I mean, I guess that stat doesn't mean a lot if you win games at the end of the day.
Right, but you're saying he's in a perfect system. He ended up in the perfect place. But he's still that guy.
Oh, yeah. He still won those games.
Yeah, and I think the safety net. I think Kelsey will help, but I think they might be a wild card team and might drop that first one.
There probably will be 3 teams out of that division, most likely.
Right.
Speaking of that division,
you can't just say most likely
Raiders.
that there's going to be 3 teams from a division. That's pretty bold.
I think so. That's my take. You don't think that the Chargers, Raiders, and Chiefs could make the playoffs, or maybe the Broncos?
I think all the teams can, but most likely is you got a 50-50 shot. Maybe 3 teams.
If you're looking at, I'll go on record and say that 3 teams out of that division will make it. I don't know which 3, but I think it's either going to be the Broncos or Chiefs left out. I think that the Chargers and Raiders are nasty.
There's 3 you get.
So that's probably the best matchup of the weekend.
By the way, I would go on. I think all 4 because it's 3 wild card teams, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I see. You could get all.
But
4.
the issue is you lose into each other. You play each other twice, so there's going to be a team that doesn't play as good unless they all split all year.
Yeah.
It's just not likely that 4 go, but I do think that when any of those teams play anybody else, they're all legit teams. They're gonna tune up other AFC teams.
I like Raiders and the Chargers. They're up next. I'm not as high on the Broncos as other teams, but we'll get there.
So right now we have this at 3. Some people have 3. Some people have 3.5. What do you got it at, Chad?
I was looking at
Raiders, Chargers.
I think the
preseason is 4. Just so you know.
When it came out in July.
Wow. You guys, when you see the highlights of this freaking Bills game, the Rams might be the worst team in football.
Really?
Anyways.
Donald should have retired.
I am going to I want to be on the Raiders badly. I like Derek Carr's my AFC version of Kirk Cousins. I think he's going to light the world on fire. 3.5. I'll take a fun game, high scoring. These 2 teams, they had an exciting game at the end of last year. So I will, although I do love Brandon Staley, I think the no kicking, no punting thing makes all the sense in the world, and people who want to, give him a hard time, you're just freaking lame. So that does make it interesting. It does make it a little bit more difficult to decide, because you're looking at how many possessions are you seem going to get, and he's constantly not.
Yeah, he throws Vegas off a little bit.
So I'll take the Raiders. I like McDaniels and Derek Carr and all the weapons they have there. So I'll do that.
I'm taking them straight up. I think they're going to win.
3.5. Is that where we're at? The line?
Yeah.
I like the Raiders. I don't think they win. I think Chargers by a field goal. Herbert would be That's my MVP. It's him and Allen. Allen's due, but Herbert's going to light it up as he's done the past couple of years.
All right. Now we're on to the only game that matters. Bucks, Cowboys. 2.5 right now. Cowboys are dogs.
I thought the Cowboys were playing the Patriots.
Oh, the Patriots South. We're going to do this thing again.
They're not.
You're not a Bucks fan. You're not allowed to like the Bucks.
He has a jersey.
You live in Boston. You were raised in Rhode Island.
When you moved back, that was it.
You are not allowed to claim that Super Bowl. I'm going on record and saying that.
Why do I have a banner hanging up in a ring in my Kirk case?
They sent you one?
That's all it takes.
Hey, thanks for being a loyal Patriot fan. Here's our Patriots South Super Bowl.
They literally had the freaking
He's a booster.
They had the ring ceremony at Gillette Stadium.
Yeah, they might as well have. I shouldn't bet with my heart, but I'm obviously taking the Cowboys money line. Brady's 5-0 against the Cowboys, but there's one thing that Brady's always had by his side when he's tuned up the Cowboys, and it's Giselle. And now she's not sleeping in the same house as him. He hasn't been there. He's getting older. He said he said at that press conference, life happens. Life's crazy when you're 43, 45 years old, whatever the heck he is. I just don't think his brain is in football anymore. I think he's missing some key O-linemen. I think Micah Parsons is going to probably break him in half. I think Trayvon Diggs is going to pick him off again, just like he did last year, and this time we're going to finish the job. So, and it's in Jerry World. So if you're giving the Cowboys points, I'm not only going to take the points, I'm going to take the money line and bet with my heart. It always sucks when I bet the Cowboys,
Smart.
Because when they lose and they also don't win me money, it's like double sad. And I hate being sad.
Yeah. You don't want to win money and the Cowboys lose. Yeah, it's not worth it.
I will never bet against them.
It's not worth it. All right.
I got a question for you guys. Now, you're both married. You both have kids. I've been following this Tom Brady thing this year, and I think he's probably just doing Masked Singer. But I'm struggling to understand how, because really the actual answer to your question of him being 5-0, who's been by his side the whole time, is AG, Alex Guerrero. And
good answer.
His real wife.
Good answer.
If given, I guess I'm operating off of if at 45 you have all the money in the world, and given someone says to you, hey, we will take your wife, your kids, remove them from the picture. You can go stay at your own, because now money's you're not making decisions to stay with someone, all that crazy stuff. You're free. Now all you can think about is football. If you want to go have some downtime, obviously you have every option available to you. I don't see how I can't imagine he's the most invested father in the world as it is, nor should he be, right? He has people in his circle that can do those things. And his kids are going to love him, and look up to him no matter what, because he's Tom Brady.
I'm not tracking where you're going with this.
I guess my point is,
what's the question?
A little bit of a buddy trail, but keep it up.
Not a question. More so. So, Tom, most people right now are saying, "Oh, Tom's not locked in. Tom's dealing with all these family troubles." When you're Tom Brady, you don't have family troubles. As you can start to get more successful, and you want to trim your circle down to no one, that's only going to allow him to be more dialed in. And I think you're going to see the best version of Tom Brady that we've ever seen, because he's not going to have to come home to Giselle saying, hey, go tuck Tommy Jr. in. Even though that's not my kid, I'll still protect.
He's not interested.
There's so much shit going on in that household that he can just cut out, and he's going to be purely focused on doing one thing, and that's throwing it over to Mike Evans. That's throwing it over to Julian Edelman or Wes Welker
Julio.
Or Gronk,
Julio
or
Jones,
Kevin Falk, or David Givens, David Patton, Troy Brown.
He's just talking about old Patriot. He's
are
stuck.
Going to be
little blast from the past.
And I think
Julio Jones.
He's going to break every record. He's going to do. I'm so excited to watch Tom this year.
How does Julio
And Thomas,
play into this?
Who cares? Cut him. It doesn't matter.
He doesn't?
We could throw
Okay.
I'll throw you out there. It's not going to matter this year.
I would love the opportunity.
Honestly, Tampa's only an hour and a half.
Little
You got
little
shoulder
tight end.
pads.
I did lift today. Little tight end action.
Gronk retired. Well, he'll be back week 6.
Closer to the playoffs.
Okay.
Well, I don't know when the deadline is, but closer to the deadline.
So bottom
But
line,
hey,
no one loves their wife at 45. If you can move on, perfect. You can continue to play football.
Take of the week.
We're good.
Take of the week.
Let's play football.
Okay.
All right.
A little bit of a downer, usual Chad, but hey, I agree with him. I think.
Which part?
Yeah, I guess I should specify. No, Tom's dialed in, man. He's married to the game.
Not going to specify exactly.
He's married to the game. You know, it's always been about football. Alex Guerrero, I like that. That's his guy. You know, he's going to be locked in. They're going to cover. You know, it seems like the more turmoil that happens, the more Tom is locked in. He loves a challenge. But challenged by who? You know what I mean? Shout out to Drake, but challenged by who, man? I mean, like, you know, the guy needs a challenge. So, you know, he's going through a little something at home, and he'll take it out on Micah Parsons and Diggs and your boys at home.
I'm not. First of all, I mean, I guess I can't ever be the guy who's just like, oh, Brady fell off the cliff. I mean, it's been happening too long. He's the best ever. We can't
bet against him.
I'm gonna bet against him, and I have for a long time.
I have. You can.
That's where I'm at. Well, I hope that Chad was wrong on a few accounts there. I don't know if we got an actual solid answer as to who's betting on that, but
I'm not looking forward to my 40s. I'll tell you that much.
I gotta let Brooke know.
He's scaring me a little bit, but all right.
Well, we'll be Anyway, we'll leave it at that. And then we'll finish up with the Broncos Seahawks Monday night game. I think this is going to be a stinker, just like a lot of Monday night games are. Yeah. I think it's going to be, I don't know. I just feel like the Broncos are going to win like
new crew though. Joe Buck, Troy Aikman.
20.
That could be fun. Yeah,
that'll be fun. It could change it up a little bit. I'm going to miss them at Fox calling Cowboy games, and I mean the Cowboys are always on primetime. They're on a couple Monday night games, so I guess they'll still call them. But I think that the Broncos win like a weird score, like 20 to 10. So I think they're going to cover, but it's going to be like 30 points, boring, under night football.
Yeah, I can agree. The Seahawks have nothing to offer. I mean, I think in some way, shape, or form, Pete Carroll moves on. You know, this is kind of to wrap it up. You know, his marriage with Russ is over. Didn't work out. You know,
he's like 70 something.
He's old, man. He's old. You saw that Russ was a little upset that he didn't let him chase that MVP.
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's over with. You know, Pete's kind of done. It'll be a rough year for him.
Man, he's 70 years old. Where are you at on this one, Chad?
This is Monday night game. I can't. This is, like you said, I'm not really looking forward to it as it is. I have to see how the weekend plays out. We always preach gambling responsibly on this, and depending on how the weekend goes, I don't know if betting on the Monday night game or watching the Monday night game is going to be a responsible thing. So I'm going to have to hold off at this point.
Okay, no take from him on that one.
We'll see. We'll see if he has to chase. Chase a little bit later.
No, I'm chasing right now at Los Alamitos. So we got that going all night.
What is that, horses?
Yeah, West Coast.
There you go.
So
beautiful.
Yep.
Well, that wraps up our first ever Unqualified Sports podcast. We went through the entire slate of games here and where we're going to be. So we're going to know in less than a week how our fates lie and if we're up money, down money.
We'll be doing some records between the three of us.
Yeah, we'll let you guys know where we stand.
Cool.
After week one, and we have a pretty exciting guest coming. I can't confirm exactly who it is. Coming on next week's episode as well, potentially a couple. So definitely tune in to next week's episode and subscribe on all the mediums that allows you to subscribe: YouTube, all the podcast ones, Apple, Spotify, all of it. So we appreciate the listeners, and thanks for tuning in.
Real. I will understand you, baby. I'm really 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 real. I will understand you, baby. I'm really